Hey there, Internet! So I want to talk to you a little bit about this thing that came out a few weeks ago with Paul Dini on Kevin Smith's podcast, because it's important. It's not just important for comic book people, it's important for anybody that is online on YouTube. Bear with me, we're talking business. In case you forgot, a few weeks ago, Paul Dini was on the Kevin Smith podcast and he was talking about Cartoon Network and how essentially they were canceling shows because there were not enough boys watching. I don't even know where to start about how insane that concept is to me, but it's a really important concept. Not just for people in TV, but if you're involved in the online space, this is a huge, huge thing that we really need to take some time to consider. Let's talk about how crazy it is first. If you're making content for TV or YouTube or whatever, one of the hardest things you're gonna have to do is find fans, to find people who will watch your stuff. That's the hardest thing to do. If you have them, keep them. Don't say, no, go away. No, you're not who I'm looking for. You get the people who love what you're doing and you nurture them. Hey.
Hey.
Like that?
Yeah.
How about more fart jokes?
I'm good with it like this.
No, really, how about more fart jokes?
It's
fart jokes! Fart jokes! Fart jokes! Fart jokes. So Emma, how'd that make you feel?
Wait, give me time.
So Emma, how'd that make you feel? So Emma, how did that make you feel?
Sucky.
If you can't figure a way to take care of your fans, maybe you're in the wrong business. Ooh, is that controversial? Maybe I shouldn't say that. Long story short, it just doesn't make sense to put all of your resources into creating a product and then letting it go because it didn't hit the exact people you thought it would. One of the ways they justify this is by saying that women and girls don't buy the same things that boys do. Well, no duh, that makes sense, but there's this assumption that women and girls don't buy things, and that's just wrong. You know what, let's ask somebody. Bernie Sue!
Hey Mark, so what are your questions?
So how many women watch Lizzie Bennet Diaries?
90%.
Okay, cool. And how many DVDs did you sell on your Kickstarter?
About 5,800.
And would you say that you sold a lot of posters, pins, everything like that?
Yeah, I would say so. You've done pretty well.
Yeah, and so would you say women buy stuff?
I think that'd be pretty obvious given that our audience is 90%.
Okay,
female.
cool. Thanks a lot then. Appreciate it.
All right. Well, good talking to you.
All right, you too.
Have a good one. Bye.
Told you. So obviously that's a small sample, it's one thing, but there's clearly people who will buy stuff. Women and girls will buy things if you give them things that they want. Now, when you take that concept and you start to pull it apart, you see that there's a deeper meaning that's important for video creators online, on YouTube, or anywhere else online. I don't know if you know a lot about how everything works online, but whenever you put something online, if you run an ad against it, you get a little bit of money. And when I say a little bit of money, I mean a little bit of money. To give you an idea about this, Freddie Wong, who has this huge channel, he did Video Game High School, he said a couple of weeks ago in an interview that if he were to support Video Game High School on ad revenue alone, it would take about 600 million views. That's virtually impossible. Freddie's videos on average get around 5 million per, which is a huge number. That still means he's got to put out a ton of videos a year just to break even. That's not making money. That's just paying the bills. For indie creators who are trying to do something online, advertising revenue is not going to cut it. So how do you make that money? Guess what? Merchandise. Online video is becoming dependent on merchandise sales to support high quality content. If people aren't buying things, creators can't keep making the original content that you can't find anywhere else. Online video has been promoted as this huge equalizer with no gatekeepers like studios or networks to force you to do things. It's been a great equalizer when it comes to disadvantaged communities to have a voice. At the current rate of ad revenue, those voices are going to be silenced, and it's essentially as if we have to go through gatekeepers again because they can't afford to make the content that they want to make and that you want to see. That's why you see everybody from Jenna Marbles to Freddie Wong making other revenue streams. Have you ever wondered why Rooster Teeth has such a huge and successful store and why they're able to do so much? The two go along together. At the end of the day, what it really means is that we as creators are dependent on you viewers to support us. Ads aren't gonna cut it. How many times do you skip an ad? It hurts in my soul. It takes a long time to make these videos and to really make stuff that you're gonna be excited about. We need your support. And the concept that half of our viewers don't buy things, that's ridiculous. There's no way we can support ourselves if half of the viewers, before we even look at anything else, won't even buy anything. At the end of the day, what all this means to me is that the attitude that exists out there that only a certain population will buy things is ultimately damaging to the online video community, because that immediately assumes when we go out and we try to make something, half the people are not even available for us to talk to because they're not interesting to advertisers, they're not interesting to investors. That's wrong. Get the f out of town. So we need your help, as always, to go out and tell people what you want to see. Let them know that no, you're a voice, you're a force to be reckoned with out there, and that what you want to see is just as important as what this other guy next to you wants to see. What does that mean for Weird Girls and the channel and the series and everything? It means that we as a channel, we can't depend on ad revenue alone to support things. So part of our plan is to have merchandise be an entire part of the channel, whether it be t-shirts, whether it be laptop skins, whether it be notebooks, whatever. It's all a part of the plan that as this channel grows and we get more and more content, we're gonna have to be dependent on merchandise. I'm really curious what you guys think about this. How do you support the shows that you watch online? Do you buy stuff? Do you just click through the ads? Do you skip the ads? Do you watch the ads? Let me know down in there, because that's gonna be really important for us as we continue Weird Girls and push into the next level of what we're trying to do. And obviously, because all this makes sense, make sure you do the stuff where you tell the people about the things with the subscribes and the likes and everything like that. Share, 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 because we need fans and we want you to join our family.
I'm sorry. See, this is why me doing a whole video would just be awful.
You're just